All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is KPZ. You are here on the home of the Slightly Above Average Ship Review. We are in a domination match today on Trap. We are down tier in the Tier 3 Royal Navy aircraft carrier, the Hermes. Sorry, Vaz. I know you wanted a spooky video. Instead of a treat, all you're getting is this trick. I think the Hermes is one of the two aircraft carriers you should start with, unless you're a torpedo savant like me in the Hosho. Either the Hermes or the Komsomolets. And so why the Hermes? Well, the British aircraft carriers really excel at taking out enemy destroyers due to their HE bombs. They drop carpet bombs, as you can see by that oval there. You'll get little bomblets dropping in there instead of just one bomb. And so it's a lot easier to hit a maneuvering ship, specifically a maneuvering destroyer, with the carpet bombs. So if you have a match that you're in a Royal Navy aircraft carrier, my advice to you is do your teammates a solid and go after the destroyers. And teammates, if you're in a match with a Royal Navy aircraft carrier and they're going after the destroyers, help them do that. All right, we're trolling for a destroyer. One thing to keep in mind is that little bomb window there, the bomb dropping area, is not specifically right. You need a little wiggle room to get that into position. All right, here we're going to drop on a Nassau. As you can see, the bombs kind of soar in at the last second. So we did set a fire there. And we're going to use the boundary to turn around quicker and go to our second drop. Hopefully. And you know what? Target OP ships that don't have a lot of AA. Like the Nassau, like the Arkansas. Target those ships, take them out, like the Nikolai. All right, we're going back to the ship, I think. Are we going to turn around for one more? I think my plane might get shot down before this is completed. Not from the Nassau, but from his friend. There's our last drop. As you can see, I like to put the crosshairs right on the front of the bow of the ship. All right, as we get these planes in the air, damage record for the Hermes, 106,530, according to WOW's builds. And the HMS Hermes was a British aircraft carrier, the first ship to be designated as an aircraft carrier, although the Hosho was the first to be commissioned. Completed after the end of World War I, delayed numerous times. After she was launched, the shipyard that built it closed. And so in terms of what the Hermes did, World War II, anti-submarine patrols transferred to Dakar to help the French Navy hunt down German commerce raiders. Remained there until the fall of France. Blah, blah, blah. Attempted to sink Richelieu, failed. Torpedo bombers attacking at night. The Hermes rammed a British armed merchant cruiser in a storm. Did it get a Die Hard medal for doing that? I don't know. Supported Commonwealth forces in Italian Somaliland. I'm guessing that's Somalia of the present day. 2 months later in the Persian Gulf during the Anglo-Iraqi War. Patrolled the Indian Ocean. Joined the Eastern Fleet at Ceylon. Carrier was sunk by Japanese aircraft in April of, it would be nice if they gave the year, 42. So, yeah, it did some stuff. All right, I've been totally ignoring the match. Thankfully, we're just dropping torpedoes. All right, still going after the Nassau. Why not? Just throwing those torpedoes in the water simply because he is too close and we wanted to get them off. As you can see, the torpedo didn't have time to arm. Here, getting our last lick in with our ferry is that an albatross? I wouldn't have picked that. But albacore. So it's a giant fish. A tuna fish. All right, there is another torpedo strike on the Nassau. So, in absence of hunting for destroyers, I've been concentrating on taking out the best ship. There's the first blood medal on the Nassau. All right, maybe not the best ship, but Texas, Nevada, and New York all have good AA. The enemy carrier has good AA, relatively speaking. So I took out the most OP ship I found, which was the Nassau. And all those secondaries, all my teammates can breathe a sigh of relief. They won't have to worry about those anymore. All right, here we're going to try to go spot the enemy destroyer, although I am armed with torpedoes, and that is not ideal. He's hiding in a smoke screen. You can see most of the rest of the enemy team is congregated in this very small area, which is bad for them and great for me commanding my aircraft carrier. So in here, a second, we're going to do a drop. Now, it's not good in terms of AA, but it's good in terms of targeting. We're going to cinch up our torpedo drop window. Looks like this guy's moving forward at the last second. So we will get those torpedoes out. Just one. Withering AA fire as we do get a torpedo hit. And I think that plane is going the way of the dodo bird. Shot down. All right, back to the carrier. We are moving away from the enemy. The area the enemy is encroaching. I think that's me warning our teammates, hey, yo. Oh, maybe somebody else told me, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. All right, so we're moving out. Right now, we're down one ship, although I'm not, like, holding my breath or anything. And I would say at Tier 3, a good match in an aircraft carrier is 50,000 damage. A really good match is 75,000 damage. A great match is over 100,000 damage, regardless of the aircraft carrier you are in. Because in a lot of respects, as we drop into a smoke screen, you're counting on your teammates to help you out. And a lot of times at this tier, they don't understand how to do that. Okay. So we're just continuing to try to troll around this area to help spot the destroyer for our team. That being said, even if he was in open water, I really doubt anyone other than me would be able to do a whole lot. So instead, we're going to give up on that because he's in the smoke screen and move over here and try to go after some other ships around here. And there is a guy hiding behind the island. So we're going to go after him. And that wasn't that great. Even the oval is not forgiving when you're perpendicular to the ship you're going after. It's better than the regular just single bomb, but you still have to, in some ways, have the ship lined up with what you are trying to do. All right, we lost another teammate. The destroyer's out in the open. My goal really is just to keep him spotted. I'm like, hey, do you want to shoot at that ship, teammate? And is that a British destroyer? He went back into the smoke screen. So either he had multiple ones, so he's a British ship, or he just peeked out and then went back into his smoke screen. It looks like it's dissipating. We were able to see his AA really briefly, but not able to detect him. The smoke screen is giving the appearance that it's going away. So I'm loitering in this area, hoping it will. But that being said, if you choose to do this or not, that's kind of up to you. I wouldn't recommend just blindly dropping unless you have a fantastic idea of where the enemy ship is and that you're going to hit them. All right, there the destroyer is spotted. I'm not saying we had anything to do with that. We're going to go back around the island here and try to get some good target here. And there's the window right on top. And we do set a fire, so that's a pretty good hit. But our team is continuing to lose ships. Here, got to give my window enough time to get armed again before we can go after the destroyer. That's why I turned so wide right there. And just keeping the destroyer spotted is really, in many cases, the best thing you can do. Here, we're trying to predict And we do get the hit, the fire, and the kill. That may be like the Gordie Howe hat trick here in an aircraft carrier. Sorry, the game paused on me while the footage kept running. So we've got a couple of kills, 2 of the 3 kills for our team. Our team is showing the backbone of a bowl of wet oatmeal. So I'm not like holding my breath here that we're going to be able to accomplish a lot. But someone else did kill someone. I mean, and we're just going to do what we do. The destroyer's dead. The Nassau is dead. And so we're going to go after ships that are giving us good profile. This cruiser turned in. I mean, really going after cruisers with torpedoes. Not an ideal use of your torpedoes. Obviously, you want to save those for battleships or the enemy carrier. But that was the first enemy I saw closest to me. That's why I did that. Sometimes you're just not going to get what you want in terms of team composition. So at the very least, you need to practice torpedoing better, faster ships than you. All right, there. I don't know if we gave that enough time. It looks like we did. Contacted in the rear half of the ship. We're going to go around. And these ships are sticking together. This is also not ideal for an aircraft carrier commander because the enemy ships are grouped up a lot. So you're facing multiple ships' AA windows at the same time. Here, right as we were about to drop on that second ship, we were shot down. All right. Just 3 people left on our team aside from me. All right, 2 people left. No one is killing anything except for me and 1 other person. And so we did engage our ship's forward drive. And we're going to try to target the closest ship with some HE bombs. And predicting his path. And we get a Citadel hit, a double Citadel hit with HE. That is quite fantastic, folks. I was not aware that these ships could do that. So there you go, a Citadel hit with HE on the Awami. And here he put up a smoke screen. I think he's right here. Oh, we just missed him. I thought he had stopped, and he had not. All right, now we're going to quickly try to turn around to finish him off. There's really no one else who can aim at him except for me. Another good drop. And we do. Another hit to Citadel, another fire, and our 3rd kill here in the Hermes. Just 1 other ship left on myself. I know since I left the safety of my little island, which I had to leave, I would have been spotted there from that ship that disappeared. I would have been spotted eventually, so that's the other thing at this tier. Your ships are sitting ducks. This guy to the far right of the screen would have spotted me and taken me out, I think, even if that smoke screen had stayed up there a little bit longer. Here we're going to go after the battleship here going in. He is the most perpendicular to our planes. And we're going to lead him a little bit and try to get this drop off. Oh, God, it seems like it takes forever. All right, those torpedoes are out. We do get a torpedo strike. Here, we're not going to have a lot of wiggle room. By sailing close to the landmass, he takes that dead space where our torpedo wouldn't arm and essentially neutralizes our drop because we either have to drop on land or we drop to where it would immediately arm after it hits him. So that one, he looked like he was turning out a little bit. It may hit him or it may miss. Here, I'm just running for my life. We did miss the torpedo. And that is the end of the match, unfortunately. But I think that was a good look at the capabilities of the Hermes. Here on the defeat screen, first blood medal, we end up with 55,088 total damage, 6 torpedo strikes, 17 HE bomb hits, 3 kills, 6 fires, and 3 hits the Citadel. I think for any tier 3 aircraft carrier, that would be kind of an output of damage that you'd be pretty proud of. But that being said, clearly this ship is capable of much more than that with somewhat more competent teammates. All right, here we don't even finish first. We finished second on the board. 1 medal, 3 big kills, 773 base XP. Yeah, tier 4 ships not contributing a lot. Would have been nice. But down tier, I think that's a pretty solid match. All right, here in the port, we went with Air Groups Mod 1 for the aircraft return speed, which I talked about how important that is. And the secondary mod slot, we went with the secondary battery mod 2. And we do have the hull upgrade on the Hermes. And it's fully upgraded ship. All right, consumables, the auto damage control party, and the auto fighter plane, which has 4 charges. We were not using any booster flag. We've got this Type 3 temporary camo and the 3-year strong flag. Specs, 33,200 hit points with our build. Note there's no torpedo damage reduction. All right, we got the Ferry Albacore torpedo bombers. The max damage there is 6,125. Torpedoes go just 42 knots in the water. The Ferry Swordfish dive bombers, that's where you make your money. Each bomblet does 3570 max damage and a fire chance of 29%. So kind of like the Hosho is geared more towards torpedoes, the Hermes and the Komsomolets and the Langley geared more toward HE bomb damage. So that's what I would focus my damage output on. If you're going to cut it short, cut the torpedoes short. Secondary armament, not a lot of guns, although the 140s are a little bit better. The range of both 4.2 kilometers. The 102s do 1,500 HE shell damage with a 10% fire chance. The 140s do what looks like 2,000 or maybe 2030 HE shell damage with a 12% fire chance. AA defense, the 102s are dual purpose. There's only 3 of them. You're not going to do a ton of AA damage here, so don't build into that. Maneuverability, 25 knots in the water, 740 meter turning circle, 9.6 second rudder shift time. And concealment, 10.2 on the surface, 7 from the air, 2 kilometers when firing in smoke. Keep in mind that's part of the commander's base trait. Here in the stat screen, we played 5 matches and we lost most of them. And we've only killed 3 ships all in that match, so that is my best match ever in the Hermes. I think I probably just blew through this thing and went to the tier 5 when I first got these into the game. That's my impression of that. Do that. I know that for certain, no. All right, take a look at the armor viewer. As most of these ships were converted from cruisers, usually below water Citadel, kind of weirdly armored and weirdly shaped. So if you're trying to kill a Hermes directly under the smokestack, aka the island, is where to go. You do have a bow plate, armor belt of 76 millimeters going to the front of the bow. This torpedo protection really doesn't do a whole lot. Casemate armor, you can see there's more of an armor belt amidships. I'm hesitant on how to explain that. But again, that 76 millimeter belt there. And then your deck is 10 millimeters, 10 millimeter deck. So keep that in mind if you're targeting the ship. Here's our commander, Dennis Boyd. Base trait, reduce the detectability from the air. We've got Ernest King for AA guns firing range. Really more for the up tier aircraft carriers than this one. And Swirsky for concealment. In row 1, no fly zone, increasing the range and AA damage. In row 2, one-way ticket. Stronghold really doesn't hold a lot of appeal to me because you don't want to be getting shot at. You don't want to be seen. Row 3, out of sight. And row 4, burn baby burn. And then the unique legendary skill, the vault. And that is how I built out the Hermes. Anyway, if you enjoyed this look at this aircraft carrier tier 3, Don't forget to hit that like button. I'll see you on Thursday.